Chords here, nextlevelguitar.com. I want to talk about jazz, or jazzing up your blues, as opposed to bluesing up your jazz. So if you we can take a blues and start to understand kind of what jazz is by just adding things, but still within the structure of the blues, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start simple, and we're going to kind of climb up the steps as we add more things. The cool thing about a jazzy, kind of like a jazzy blues, is that you can, as far as soloing over it, you can play that minor pentatonic scale to survive. So it's a really good way to kind of start branching out, because if you try some more advanced things and it's not working, you can always pull back into that pentatonic scale, which is a nice thing. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to do it in B. So first, I'm just going to start. I'm going to play a B blues with literally just what we call the 1, 4, 5, kind of like a traditional blues. But instead of going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play like a swing blues. So it's like 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, bum. Okay, something like that. So we're just going but, just like that, okay? They're just kind of like staccato hits. So you're going to have to relax your hand to cut the sound off, as opposed to... a little more like... So every time I hit it, my left hand comes off, okay? Oh, yeah. So... these are, the chords that I'm playing are B7 kind of bar chord thing. And then my 4 chord is called E9. Okay? And then my turnaround chord is an F sharp 9, which is just the E9 up a whole step. First thing we're going to do next is we're going to take this first chord and we're going to just make it a little spicier. I like hot sauce, all right? I like that red stuff at the Chinese restaurants, you know, that you squirt into your food. Dragon fire sauce or whatever. Okay. I like that too. So we're going to take this B7 and we're going to change it into what's called a B13. But I love this chord. It immediately sounds like jazz when you play it. And women weep. Literally, they weep. Okay. So now we're going to play this chord. Instead of B7, we're going to play what's called B13. And by the way, you can always substitute this chord for a 7 chord. It might not always be appropriate for the style, but it's really good to know that it's there. All right? So now I'm going to do the exact same blues we just did, but start with the 13 chord. And then we still have the E9, and we still have the F sharp 9. Turn around on that F sharp 9 chord right there. Okay? So, that's what we got. Next thing we're going to do is and if, you know, I know a lot of people that are blues players and they want to do a little jazz, and if you've, you know, started to study a little jazz, you see this thing talked about all the time called a 2-5-1. All right? Basically what I'm going to do now, we're going to play the exact same blues that we just did, but on the turnaround, instead of the F sharp 9 down to the E9, what we're going to do, it would be called a 2-5-1 in the key of B. And what that means is it's going to be a C sharp minor 7 chord. Then we're going to go to the F sharp 9, which we already had. Just like that. No E9 this time in the turnaround. Because from there, okay, then we're going to do kind of a basic jazz turnaround. From there, I'm going to go to the B13 chord that we just learned. Okay, and I'm gonna go 1, 2. Then I'm gonna take that chord where the root is and slide it up. Ugh. It's exhausting, to the 10th fret. So we got 2 on that one. Now I'm gonna slide it down a half step. 2 on that. Another half step. Right into the progression again. So when I get there, when I get back to that B again, it's the start over of the progression. Here we go. Get the idea? Cool thing, you know, if you don't know how to, you know, sound jazzy when you're soloing, you can just blues scale over it. You know, just go, you know, start working on that stuff. Okay. Now, let's just, you know, you could hit stop right here and go, okay, that's all I can handle, but I'm going to keep going, all right? So, now I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go, same thing. Ah! Scary. Pinky just went down a half step, okay? We could call that a B augmented chord. Basically, you know, we call this the sharp 5 right there. Really, just think of it as like a passing. It's like tension to go to the 4 chord. Okay. We got this E9, and then from the E9, I'm going to move my middle finger up. And I'm going to play this fancy doohickey right here. It's called F diminished, all right? It's just like a tension chord, a passing chord, okay? Here's what we got. Oh boy. Back to the B flat. And then I'm going to take that chord and I'm going to move it to the 4th fret, and I'm going to have that augmented sound right there. Then that 2-5-1, C sharp minor 7, to F sharp 9, and the turnaround. Here it is. Get the idea? I hope so. Ah! Scary stuff, but you can see that what jazz is it's like lots of extra chords that still are kind of serving the same purpose. And so you're getting this movement, you know, and it just sounds a little more sophisticated. But I think the best way to get into the stuff is definitely from a blues approach, because that way, you know, you can just slowly build up. So like this particular lesson we did, you could just start by changing just that first chord to the 13 chord and just leave it like that for a while and don't worry about these other things I did. And then when you get comfortable with that, add another chord. You can just keep doing that. And then, I mean, you can go beyond what I was doing too. All right. We'll see you next time. Be our friend, though. That's basically what we're saying. You know, check out the site. There's even more stuff on there than you can get on YouTube. So it's worth it to you. All right? Bye.